We don't mean to sound indelicate, but there is a topic we need to talk about when it comes to living and traveling in space. All humans produce lots and lots of waste. And as we've known for our entire lives, this waste can be gross and smelly and sticky. And that's just here on our planet. In space, pooping and peeing is an ordeal. First of all, gravity is a very, very important factor in going to the bathroom in the first place. Our body is used to the one gravity that we feel here on our planet. And so our bladders and colons have evolved to use gravity as a sign of whether or not it's time to go to the restroom. So whether urination or defecation, all of that gravity is super helpful to let you know when it's time to go. In microgravity, however, that gravity is not there to help you. And so for the very early missions from NASA, the Mercury, Gemini, and Apollo programs, going to the bathroom was not something most of the astronauts wanted to do. Alan Shepard in 1961 spent 15 minutes as the first American astronaut to make it into space. But while he was locked in his capsule for 4.5 hours, no one realized that he had no way to go to the bathroom. And so, on what might have been one of the single greatest technological feats in the history of the United States, Alan Shepard spent his entire time in space soaked in his own urine. By the time of the Gemini spacecraft, there's only a limited amount of space, but with missions lasting several hours and even several days, you're going to have to go at some point. NASA had given all of the astronauts a specific diet, one high in protein and low in what scientists call residue. These are foods that the body can accumulate most of its nutrients, but produce very little waste in return. However, when it was time to go, it was time to strip down as well. Since there was very little water on any of these spacecraft, if you got fecal matter on yourself, on your spacesuit, or on anything in the spacecraft, it would be almost impossible to clean it. And so the horror stories of being in an Apollo capsule, stripping down while two other astronauts moved as far away as they could from you, while you attached an adhesive bag to your buttocks, and then, because gravity's not there to help you, manually remove your feces from your body. And so, if one gets out, you know it's going to float around. Apollo 10, there is a transcript showing the three astronauts talking about how a single feces had made its way into orbit inside the spacecraft. That's about as far as we'll go on that. Today, astronauts have it a little bit better. In space, vacuums are your friend. And so for urination and defecation, astronomers use specialized space toilets that actually imitate the 1g of gravity that we feel on our planet's surface. While it's still difficult, and oftentimes you need to aim, it is a much easier way for us to be able to take human waste and treat it carefully on the International Space Station. But that's not the best part. The best part today is that scientists at NASA and around Central Florida are looking for ways to take pee and poop and turn them into rocket fuel. Almost all of the urine that's created on the International Space Station will eventually find its way back into the station as drinkable water and cooling for the systems on the station. And so, if you gotta go, you gotta go. And that is one of the ways that space can gross you out.